What is a team working agreement? A team working agreement is simply a document that binds the team together. It's the do's and the don'ts within the team. Again, something that is captured by the team. It's a team effort and not an individual effort. Now, before we go ahead and share our experience of how we've been able to help our team to create a team working agreement, we want to take a moment to appreciate our returning viewers and subscribers. You have been wonderful and amazing, and we love you for that. Thank you so very much for being so supportive. Please continue to motivate us by liking, sharing, and commenting. And if this is your first time, hey, this is an Agile platform where we discuss everything Agile. So it's an environment or a platform for us to learn from one another, considering, us sharing our different experiences. And again, please continue to support us by subscribing, like, share, comment, and don't forget to activate the notification bell so that whenever we upload a new content, you will not miss out on it. Okay, how have I been able to help my team to create a team working agreement? Now, I do use a canvas in Mural where it captures the different areas that a team needs to contribute to be able to come up with something solid as a team working agreement. If you're new into an organization, some of them might really not feel the need for it because maybe they've never really had one in place. They'll ask you, okay, or try to be resistant about, okay, what's a team working agreement? Why do we even need it in the first place? We've been working like this for a while. Okay, simply explain to them with team working agreement, it just helps us to be aligned. It helps us to have a shared understanding. It helps us to be on the same page. It helps us to understand, okay, what we are doing, why we are doing it, who needs to do what, and all of those things. So with this, they will be able to understand that, okay, at this point, now understand why we need a working agreement. Because one thing about people is them not understanding why, and they tend to be resistant. But if you explain the overall why they are doing things or they should do things the other way, then they will be able to give it a try. So within my team, I've worked as a Scrum Master and even as an Agile coach when I'm coaching teams, I do suggest that they use this. So on this canvas, I'll be touching different sections randomly. So the canvas has things like the name, and that is the name of the team that needs to be captured. Then we have things like the date. So the date that the team was able to come up with this team working agreement. Then now going into the different sections, we have things like people and the roles. Like who are you within the team? Like what is your name? And what is your accountability within the team? How do you fit within the team? Then another area is, or another section is about the team's strength and weaknesses. Now, this is an individual strength and weaknesses that gets captured. Now, one thing I want to say real quick is in these different sections that team members add their cards to input, we make sure that we group these cards in in a way that we are not repeating, the same things on other sections. So we just make sure that, for instance, if you write integrity and I write something similar, we'll just group them together. That way it's, it's communicating the same thing. So with strength and asset, what are you bringing into the team as an individual? Okay, where are you most strong in? Where is your area of expertise and all of those? So we try as much as possible to capture this so we know who is who within the team. Now, another area of this or another section on this canvas is weaknesses and risk. So you agree with me that no one is without weaknesses. So we want to be able to understand what your weaknesses are. And the most important thing about weaknesses is what are you doing to overcome these weaknesses? It is very, very important. So things like risk, we want to be able to understand what these risks are so that we try to mitigate, so that we try to resolve it as much as we can before it becomes, a problem. So this is, another section. Now, moving on to another one, we capture things like values. So the team members will be able to contribute their ideas on what values they want us to leverage within the team. You see things like integrity, trust, respect, openness, focus, commitment, courage, transparency. All of this great stuff are being captured by the team, and because that is what they really want to leverage moving forward. So we have another thing like common goals. So what are our common goals? Okay, so the team will be able to contribute. Okay, we want to be able to help one another. We are working for this client. Our goal is to ensure that the client gets the best out of what we do. We want to be able to fully, utilize our skills to the best. We want to, collaborate as much as possible. So these different things again will be captured under the team's common goals. Now, another good section on this canvas is personal goals. So there's common goal and there are personal goals. Okay, with personal goals, maybe there are team members that, want to become something else, or not really something else like in another field, but to grow within their same field. They don't want to be where they are today in the next few years to come. They want to keep making these improvements. And being an agile coach or a scrum master, when I used to work as a scrum master, I always ensure that I work pretty well, hand to hand with my different team members to ensure that their personal goals are achieved. I go out of my way to ensure that they keep growing, because that is how I see my success. Me seeing my team members growing, that is success for me. So their different personal goals are being captured, and I partner with them to ensure that they are achieving these goals at the end of it all. So another section that we capture on this canvas, or we contribute ideas to, so the purpose. Why do we exist together? What do we do as a team? And what is the overall benefit of what we do to the end client, to us, to the organization, all of that. So we captured these different things into one and come up with something solid that we are going to be using moving forward. We will going to talk about things like needs and expectations. Now, with needs and expectation, we want to talk about things like, okay, what is our communication channel? Okay, let's say if we work in an organization and we're using Teams. Okay, Teams is going to be our communication channel, and we can equally use emails or Outlook. Then we want to talk about, okay, what are the tools that we need to use to be able to track our work? So things like Jira, Azure DevOps, LinkedIn, whatever it is that organization is using. So in that communication channel itself, we decided to use, okay, let's say Teams. You can use Google Meet. You can use whatever it is that, your organization is using. Now, how do we store our documents together? Maybe at this point, the team will agree that, okay, they want to use Confluence to store their information. That way, it's in a central place. Each and every team member can be able to reach out to that. Now, another area that the team needs to capture is definition of done. And with definition of done, it pertains to the kind of work we do. Okay, what do we see as definition of done? So each and every team member will be able to contribute, and the product owner is very handy in this particular area as to what our definition of done is. They will equally capture what our definition of ready is. Okay, how do we know that this work is ready for us to get started on it, for the team to start working on it? How do we know that, okay, this work item or user story is actionable already for us to start working on it? Then another section of this team working agreement that we do capture is rules and activities. What are the rules within the team? So we want to capture things like the cadences. What is our cadence? Is it a 2 weeks? What is the time and the date of each and every event, from stand-up to sprint retrospective? That way, each and everyone has shared understanding of when and where we are going to have this meeting. Now, another thing about these rules and activities is, that when working with a team, it becomes boring if we don't really get to celebrate ourselves. We don't really get to talk, about things that is not really related to work. Sometimes it's always good, to celebrate ourselves. Things like happy hour. Things like, giving a shout out to people, birthdays, anniversary, all of these kind of things. we try our best to capture this as well during our team working agreement. So it just makes the team, a happy one, not just, work, motive always all the time. We always want to ensure that we are having this balance. So with all of these, this is pretty much a guide that I've used to be able to help my team to come up with something that is solid, that they use, for the longest of time. And the good thing about team working agreement is whenever a new team member joins the team, I ensure that I walk, the new team member through the team working agreement. And if there's anything that they want to contribute, then we'll have a meeting again as a team and tweak things around. So it's a living document. We can always make those changes whenever we see the need for it. So this is a guide that I use, or that I have used, to be able to help my team to come up with a team working agreement. So let us know if this is helpful for you. And to do that, please go ahead and use the comment section. Now there's another one called this. We use the 7 C's to be able to come up with a team working agreement, but we are not going to discuss that in this content. Maybe in another content, if you see the need for it, just let us know. But these are the different areas that I have been able to use to help my team to come up with a team working agreement. Again, I'll just name them again randomly. People and roles. We talk about values. We talk about common goals. We talk about personal goals, strengths and weaknesses, and risk. We talk about definition of done, definition of ready, needs and expectations. We talk about the last one was rules and activities within the team. So these are the different sections that, again, that we've used. So thank you so very much for watching. Again, we hope this is going to be helpful for you. Stay tuned and we'll see you in the next content. Thank you and bye-bye.